Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Solana. Update from yesterday. We're still honoring our bull flag here if you look at the 4-hour time frame. I generally like to use the 4-hour time frame like candlestick closures to be able to confirm breakouts, but we're getting very, very close. It does look like Solana wants to take off. This is all pending Bitcoin doesn't lose its support at that 63, 62.5 range. So all good mostly, but again, Bitcoin is holding pretty strong right now. It's looking pretty decent in its range, and as long as we can continue to maintain this range, I think altcoins are going to continue to surge. So it's definitely a good sign here. Pay attention to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is tapering off, so to speak, pulling back, and as that continues, Bitcoin stays range bound. We're in very, very good shape for coins like this. Now let's double check some important stuff on the back end data, kind of see what's going on here. We'll go ahead and reload this and see where we're at. Now, when we pull up liquidation levels, we want to kind of see concentrations, and this seems pretty obvious to me that there's a deep concentration at about 150 to 50, or 153 is a round number. So 153 to 155 is that range. You can even see a more macro perspective here at 162 to 165. So those are kind of the two areas of concentration for liquidation. I'll post this playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you're not familiar. It looks a little something like this here, where I kind of provide you specific areas of liquidation and obviously a playout chart for the coins after I analyze them. So take a look here. Let's go ahead and look at the daily and work our way down and just recognize a couple of things here, because Solana's looking pretty strong, but we're also we also see some areas of a potential concern. Now, I'm not trying to worry you at all. I really think there's more beneficial than disadvantageous signs here, because we look at the local point of control ever since August, roughly the first week of August, we've seen 144 as that area of concentration where people really want to buy this coin. So it's like a very, very interested level. Okay, so the price pulls back to that 144. It may be a solid consideration. I'm starting to think that this 141, 142 area, where we have a lot of confluence for previous high, turn new low, potential for pullback to that area, I think that's becoming less realistic. So to me, maybe averaging into that position might be better at this point, just based on the way things are looking. But overall here, we're above the two more important moving averages that kind of let us know we're the trend is our friend here. Where we're 50 on the RSI, money flow index is still quite high. Even though stochastic's pulling back and we're losing a little bit of momentum on the MACD, I'm not super concerned that we're going to pull back super hard. I really think that this 140, 141 is going to be the bottom, if that even happens. That will happen if Bitcoin makes a run towards 61, 62K, of course, which I've been hoping for a little while. I want to see 62.5 for Bitcoin so we can take a long at that level, but also consider some longs for altcoins once they kind of capitulate, hopefully for the last time. But again, we're building a pretty solid foundation on top of this previous lower support consolidation area. So really things are looking pretty stellar here for the most part for Solana, I would say. However, again, we're starting to see some retracement. If you look at this and you look at Bitcoin, these candles are the same last 8 hours. So that really tells me that if Bitcoin pulls back a bit further, we'll see the same thing from Solana. But again, this flag pattern is still holding pretty strong. We could even tighten it up with candle bodies here and just kind of pay attention and kind of recognize that, once again, 140, 141 is probably a best case scenario for the longs. And or shorts, honestly, if you're trying to short, which I think is a bad idea right now. You don't want to short against the trend. It just makes no sense at all. So 4-hour time frame, quickly to note, we're still over 50 on the RSI, surprisingly, but again, we keep barely holding on there. I don't love that because, again, this is a 4-hour time frame kind of transitioning, letting us know that we're breaking a little bit to the bearish side, but we haven't fully done so yet. So it's still premature to presume that we're breaking bearish, but in the same accord, that's kind of what the 4 hour is telling us. Keep in mind, when Bitcoin goes range bound, it's showing the same thing, but it's going sideways. More likely to leg up, in my personal opinion, in the relative near future. But again, I think 62.5 would make more sense first. Let's take a quick look here at the hourly and double check a couple of things. First and foremost, when we are in a descending type of trend, maintaining the cloud, being above the cloud, is pretty uncommon, right? So with this most recent consolidation in this upper area, that's a good sign. We are establishing higher highs and higher lows. But once more, this doesn't really tell us a whole heck of a lot as far as like giving you a lot of confidence on the hourly time frame. Either way you look at it, this is still more beneficial than disadvantageous. However, I don't really like when I see this, but it's par for the course too for these type of flag patterns, right? So you got to kind of give it time to play out. Generally speaking, 141 to 140 is a good consideration for entry, even still at this point. Again, it's easy to say because Bitcoin's pulling back, but if Bitcoin does retrace 625, 615, right in that range, I think we're solid and likely to see a bounce here soon, especially here for Solana. So I think it's inevitable for Solana to take off. It absolutely has all all the signs are here that it's going to explode here in the relative near future. We just got to wait for Bitcoin to maybe have its last little pullback before that happens. So I'm going to stay patient here. I'll probably eat my words and say that 141 is probably going to be the next low here. I hope that I'm wrong. The price continues higher for you. Or maybe it goes down to 141 and you're trying to short. I don't recommend that. Again, the trend is still up. The overall sense here is more bullish, right? You don't want to short into that. But the key takeaway is that we're seeing a lot of support in this 144 range. So the 144 is maybe quite possibly the local bottom. And I think 141 would be kind of a best case scenario, at least at this point. Once more, it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin wants to come down to 62.5 or 61.5, maybe 60.5, we'll definitely see Solana follow suit. It wants to pull back with Bitcoin, but it also wants to jump up when Bitcoin goes sideways, and that's a good sign too. So I think Solana looks pretty nice here. I think you're more likely to find success going up than down. Hope that made sense and I described that correctly. Once again, tune into our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you want to kind of stay on top of our local anticipated charts and whatnot. Obviously, join our Discord too. I want to congratulate our members here. Some nice long profit there from an ICP trade, 53%. Again, patience pays off, folks. Same thing with Cardano, 44%. Those were trades taken 2 weeks ago. So hey, I don't mind taking profit today with something I did 2 weeks ago. It's actually a pretty good residual. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for your time. Take care.